Good evening, everybody, and welcome to That's Good Pasta, our podcast about creepy pastas. It was a weekly thing, but unfortunately, I had surgery and I couldn't talk, so it doesn't.
Weakness.
Yeah, it doesn't really make a good podcast if you can't talk. But anyway, with me as always is my producer, co-host, tech boy, editor. I don't know what other titles do you got.
Brat. Um,
Brat,
Rat Scallion.
Rat Scallion.
Um,
Gotcha.
just Scamp.
Hmm. What would your name be?
Jared.
There you go. We got it. Good job, Jared. Today we are diving into the creepypasta that is known as the Brooding Star by one Matthew Varney, I believe his name is. Um, so Jared, I'm going to try to do a plot summary for this. It's not going to be easy. I'm not going to lie to you. Uh, and if, for people who think that this one's easy, I have notes. I have like highlighted stuff. You can't really see that on that paper because my bad for
Barely.
lighting. It's just this podcast or this creepy pasta was interesting. So anyway, we start in what apparently is the ruins of the earth. This man is in a bunker with his son, and he's kind of reminiscing on some of the older things of his world, such as history books and apparently George Washington, and he was a leader. And apparently, the son goes, "I want to be a leader," as he looks out the window randomly. That was odd.
And he's like, "What are you
Um,
gonna lead, you
what are
loser?"
you gonna lead? Yeah, like we eat people. Oh yeah, he also feeds his son. Uh, what was it? Some scraps on a cardboard. He didn't have to know what they were, but
Mhm.
it's just best that he not know. Um, so he goes out to try to scavenge and see what he can. He also puts on he says a pocket watch, but he says he sets a timer for it, so that's a little odd. I don't know. Anyway, he says he has a time limit of 30 minutes is what he says. Um,
You
to
don't want
go
to
out
get
and
caught up in those time
yeah,
vortex.
time eddies and vortexes. It's kind of like, yeah, the outside world apparently doesn't work right, or it's odd.
He also
So he
says
goes
that
out.
sometimes physics works, but today's not that
Yeah,
day.
but today's not that day because he's like he's tried to like strike matches and he couldn't catch fire, that kind of stuff. So he goes out and it's like a desolate wasteland of like snow and barren, and apparently there are these five black or I forgot how many, a few black towers like obelisks in the distance that just randomly appeared. Um, so he goes out there and he's looking for just anything he can find, including apparently bodies frozen in the snow that they use for food. Um, which begs the question, where did he get the sun from? But anyway, uh, he is happening upon this like weird little tent that he finds. He's like, that wasn't there before. And he goes inside, and apparently there's this old man there, and the man is like really decrepit and has like a hood on, and he like looks at the our protagonist and goes, "Father," and he's like, "What?" And so apparently he's kind of caught in a time vortex of some kind, and he's meeting his son, and he says, "Father, you need to kill me," because apparently his son became the prophet of what's called the Brooding Star. And he's like, "How do you know about the Brooding Star?" Like, I didn't tell you anything about that. He's like, "You have to kill me, Father. It's the only way." So he decides through a very weird, convoluted process. He goes outside and goes like, "No, I have to do this. It's the only way." And so he goes back in and stabs the old man in the throat. And apparently, this black ichor comes out, and he kind of goes insane for a minute, and then goes outside. And then in the horizon, where the sun should be, is this other orb that is now eclipsing the sun, and it has like tentacles, and it's something unimaginable. And apparently, he decides to take off his gas mask because apparently it's also toxic, and just die. The Brooding
It's
Star has found him.
it was an assault to God or any kind of creator, Thomas. You can't look at
I
that.
have. You can't look at that. I have the note here. Where is it?
Not even a
Spartan.
face a mother could love. That's how ugly it was.
Apparently, so the tent walls flapped. What is it? Where is it? God dang it!
So much for notes.
I know. Why I've got so many of them. It's just kill me. I'm talking about this, but oh, such. Oh, sorry. Here you go. And here's how he dies. Such was the end of my corporeal existence and the beginning of something far more odious than I could ever have imagined. Let me see if I can find the mask that was the brooding star.
Is this where he's like, my soul lives on, or what you would
Uh,
call a
it's
soul?
it's it's right before that, but
Oh,
here is the description. Binding in its horror, a great tentacled mass rose up from the horizon, an immutable destroyer of worlds, spreading like a cancer across the crimson sky. There was no sunrise to speak of anymore, but a hell rise. A welling
a
up of
hellraiser, if I may.
a welling up of unadulterated and unnaturalness that could have only originated from the lowest, coldest, darkest spheres of existence.
Dang.
I know. I almost wore my Edgar Allan Poe shirt, but I decided to wear my Evangelion slash
I should have poured my
uh
coffee into my Poe cup.
there you go. What band is this? Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah,
Sorry. My bad.
the coffee break of the episode.
Coffee break
Dude, I hope we
episode.
get sponsored by a coffee company and just like,
Dude, if we get sponsored by Black Rifle, do you know how happy I would be?
that'd be cool.
That would be pretty cool. Okay, so thus ends part one, and now we have a part two. Also, I did download the wiki story,
Transcript?
by the way. Yeah, the transcript for it, and there's an epilogue. So
Oh.
hold on to your butts, boys
Bonus
and girls.
material.
So he is awakened in a non-corporeal form, as he says.
Before he was awakened, there was a metal
Before,
band that was like, awaken, awaken.
dude, this should have just been called the Doomstar. This
Yeah.
could just have been a. This could have just been a Metalocalypse tie-in. Talk about a missed opportunity.
When was this?
This was posted in. Oh, good lord.
That old, huh?
2014 looks like
Mhm.
a
Pretty
while
old.
back,
Yeah.
about 10 years ago. Anyway, he is
God,
awakened
don't
in
say
his.
that. That just that hurt me a little.
He is reborn in his corporeal form, or at least he thinks he is, in an astral plane. And apparently it's a seemingly perfect realm. Like it's all like
Oh,
he
this
says
is with the
he
greenest
says
greens times
yeah, the
infinity.
greenest greens and an azure blue sky was above me. And
You
apparently
know
he finds
somebody's full of themselves when they say Azure Sky. That's like,
oh yeah, azure no, not just azure sky, azure blue.
oh,
Because azure is its own color. If you need to add the blue to it, you're just being an idiot. Um, so apparently he finds this tree and he's like, "Oh, a tree of fruit that I can eat from and be nourished because now I don't have to eat upon decay and dead
I haven't
bodies
seen apples in a
and
millennia.
many an epoch." Um, so so he grabs this fruit and he bites into it, but apparently it becomes rotten and decayed as he eats it, and he realizes that this place is actually fake. It's not real. Nothing is real here. And then,
He's
oh
in the
good lord,
Matrix.
here it is. It's like, what fruit of this land say of this land itself? The ground feeds this damnable tree.
Damnable tree.
It's just,
Oh, he also calls that tree the most beautiful tree that's ever been conceived. And I was like,
yes. Good lord, man. I know you haven't seen a tree in a while, but good grief. So he keeps searching, and the realm that he's in is also shifting in existence, and it becomes more and more decayed and more barren. And he comes across this what do you call it? This town, this village that has been like decimated. It's all torn up and it's in ruins. And he describes a bunch of the wood and beams and stuff, but I'm not going to go into that. That's way too much. Um, so he keeps like looking around, and at the last little complex of buildings that he finds this one building that is just filled with a bunch of rooms that were apparently used to torture and to extract pain from people, and there's like blood everywhere. And he's like, what is this place? What is this place? um and this is an odd thing, because the way that it was written, I had to go over it like 3 or 4 times. I'm like, what did he just say? So apparently he finds in like the corner of his mind is a key, like an actual like
Oh yeah.
skeleton key, but he like grips it and he realizes he's gripping a key, but it's like at unnatural angles. And I'm just like, what does that even mean, that
Um,
a key has
he calls it
like,
grotesque, and he's like, I didn't even think a key could be grotesque, but it was.
yes, it's like the God, where is it?
This is like the ugliest key in existence.
The oh God, where is it? Yes. Here it is. God.
Sora would not use this as a keyblade. It's too
No, he would
freaking ugly.
this is what Ryu would use. Um it wasn't until I approached the dark quarter cautiously that the key from its chain that I realized how repulsive the key could be. Though everything about this key wasn't pleasant, I felt as though I would regret leaving it behind, so I slipped it into my pocket and hoped that I needn't catch a glimpse of it ever again. Spoilers, he does.
It's
Um, so he's like, okay, that's weird. And then let me see.
this is the part where it was just like words and words.
This is probably the most confusing part, is this ending here. So he wanders out into the desolate town or whatever, and he hears a voice going, "Father?" And he freaks out because he can't distinguish if it's the old man voice or his son's voice.
Thought I already
And he
killed you, old man.
Yeah, so how many times we have to keep teaching you this lesson?
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
So he like is drawn to this black well, and he like looks into it and he hears "Father," and he basically gets pulled into this well, and like the darkness envelops him, and he becomes all disoriented, and he hears this mass swarm of voices and people calling out to him, and just he can't like fathom the evil that's within this well. But then he realizes in the darkness is where the key needs to go, because that's where the lock is in the darkness. So he grabs the key and unlocks whatever's in there.
Is the
Don't know what that
well
means.
where he gets cursed, or he says he's cursed?
Yeah, supposedly he like the dark. That's where the darkness lies, and
Mm.
it's very abstract at this point. Because I was just like, what's going on? So here's the epilogue, boys and girls. He's basically cursed, and he doesn't know how long he's going to be in the darkness and what is around him, and he's basically damned to eternity inside this darkness. But he knows that he did something by unlocking that key.
Forced to relive his darkest moments.
It's Yes, and it all ends, ladies and gentlemen, with this quote: "Give me all your rainy days, O ancient ones, and I will give you all my demon-haunted nights." And thus ends
I forgot
the,
about that.
the epic poetic tale of the Brooding Star, aptly named, by the way. So, Jared,
Someone needs to make an album off of this story.
honestly, this would make a pretty fun like slam poetry album that I could probably whip up. Um, Not tooting my own horn, but I am a published poet. Bet you all didn't know that. Um, so, Jared, what do you think of this? Honestly, probably one of the more entertaining creepypastas that we've had on here.
It was entertaining. Did I enjoy it? No. Um, especially at that part, because it is just word salad at one point, and I don't know if it was the reader
It's not even,
or
it's not even salad at that point. It was just like, uh, God, what do
it
you
was
call?
it was a charcuterie board of
Yeah,
words.
it was a
I don't know
Lunchables of words there.
I don't know if it was because Mr. Creepypasta, like I said before, I love when he's clinical. I love when he's like a cop, but when he is in distress, I'm not that much of a fan. And this, from one point of this story to the end, that's all he is. Especially, I don't want to dunk on the guy because he's doing good work, but
He's
his
doing the Lord's work there.
his voice for the old man
Father.
was not that great.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed this one. It was stupid as all get out. Like,
There's some good
obviously,
concepts in there, but
there is actually some pretty cool concepts in this. This is almost like an emo version of Roadside Picnic or Stalker or kind of like Metro. You know, where something otherworldly has taken over, or Annihilation, I guess, something familiar or similar, where something alien has taken over this area of land and nothing works right. And but the thing is that apparently whoever wrote this took a literature 101 class and really loved to just sprinkle in these weird, just weird things like
sentence
sayings
enhancers.
and it basically, yes, it like, okay, here's like some of my favorites. I begin to march thither. Who says thither?
I mean,
And then
not since the
dawn of time.
Yeah.
Here you go. Would you think immortality would lead one to higher heights? But nay, has only led me to this half-life. I have yearned for a feeling of such joy that which your arrival has provided me. A joy I thought I would only experience in the presence of the Brooding Star itself. That's his son talking to him, apparently the prophet of the Brooding Star. And then we have, "Good day," I shouted deliriously, backpedaling toward the entrance as I made my escape. "Good day, sir." I said, "Good day."
Dude
And
is
then-
channeling his Shakespeare.
"No," the oracle screeched, lurching into his feet. "'Twas a screech much like that of a barn owl and slightly reminiscent of the wailing of a mountain lion, both of which I had heard in allegedly antique recordings." That's a description. That's not someone talking. That's him describing things.
I forgot to bring that up.
Huh.
In the story, he's like, and then he screeched, and then he screeched no, but he goes no instead of the screech, which should have been like no or something like that.
No, you will die. Yeah, it's such an odd story that I can't really.
This was a
It's not
man
that
just having fun, dude.
I don't want to fault this person for doing it because obviously he enjoyed writing this, if I had to guess. But I like some of the, like I said about the damnable fruit, which I thought was hilarious. Let's see, was this one another dicom? Oh God. Okay. Okay, here's where he's describing the town, if I'm not mistaken. "Another dichotomy of fates presented itself to me, madness or sanity, which would be the most preferable? To be at the mercy of the real horrors and keep my head, or face illusionary ones and lose it. Unfortunately, there I would have no say in the matter, and thus the pondering proved pointless." He put an alliteration in this. Like, what on earth? I don't even know how to criticize this because I mean it's just hilarious, honestly. Like I thought it was funny as all get out. Like I was never scared, by the way.
Yeah.
Like once in this entire
The whole beginning,
reading.
I missed the very beginning, I guess, or zoned out. I thought these were aliens for a minute because it was on a different. It sounded like it was on a different planet, and then I heard, "Oh, we're eating human hearts." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
they're either demons or aliens or something like that." And then
Yeah.
I re-listened to it again. I was like, "Oh wait, I don't."
They're are they? Yeah, and so I don't know, like it has some pretty cool ideas. Like I'm not a huge fan of time travel, as you know.
Yeah.
But I do like it when things aren't what the age that they're supposed to be. I think it's kind of interesting. Like that wasn't like when someone I forgot what movie it was, but someone like walks out of the room and walks back in and the plant has like grown. Like
Mm.
that's kind of interesting. Um, but I, I mean, I like the idea of like
It's kind of
an
like that.
otherworldly.
I'm thinking of ending things. I think that's it
Mhm.
did that too, where stuff subtly aged.
Right, or is like rotten or something like that.
Yeah.
And so it has cool concepts, but
Yeah.
it's just definitely someone should have put down the thesaurus and just just wrote it.
It's like
So
when you used to do like reports or not reports, but like writing
your
projects at
word
school.
your word count
Yeah.
had to be a certain one. So yes, thus entered twixt twixt was this that I thus did.
It's
So
like
yeah,
instead of saying like because it's obviously like you want to say great or good, you're starting to say
right,
marvelous and like
marvelous. The trip to light, fantastic. No, I can't believe you put an alliteration in this. Like, what the hell? And so, would I recommend this? I don't know if I'd recommend this. If you want a funny listen, yeah, go for it. Brooding Star. Eh, Interesting. Go for it. But if you really want to be scared by a creepy pasta, don't recommend it for that. So,
yeah, it's very much like a B. Uh,
a B tier.
yeah, horror film.
What's what's funny? It's not even really bad. It's just kind of boring.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's
like
the
Shakespeare and Lovecraft decided to write together.
tried to write something, yeah. And so I don't know. It's just it's a very odd um yeah, it's it's an odd one for sure. I would have to get. See, I'm trying to come up with words and I'm failing. Compared to this guy, uh I can never be a writer apparently. Um all right, anything else you got to say on this one, Jared?
No, not on this one.
Do you have uh
I heard a
a suggestion?
creepy story on YouTube, and I want to see it if because I don't know if this is like an urban legend or an actual creepy pasta. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna do a little research and then come back to you.
Okay. If not, I got to back up. So you
Okay.
will definitely hear something from us. Just not sure what. Not sure what, but you'll hear something. So anyway. All right. Well, I think that's about it, Jared. You good?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. All right, everybody. Stay creepy out there. Bye.